All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be talking to you all on our product panel tonight about cleansing. Probably the most common questions that we get for those of us who have been using Isogenics for any amount of time is about our cleanse. How does it work? Is it one of those cleanses? What can you expect? And then for a lot of people who are already starting the cleanse, we know that the questions can keep on coming, right? There's so many different ways to do this. And one of the biggest things I want you guys to understand is cleansing is not one size fits all. Isogenics has created an incredible system so that when you start Isogenics, you can go through and do the system as it's designed. But we know that there's so many different variables to life that will make it so that it actually is really nice that you can do flexible cleansing. And so tonight, what Hannah and I are going to talk to you guys about is we're going to answer some of those flexible cleansing questions. We're going to talk about cleansing while you work out, because we get that question a lot too. And then we're also going to talk about the best ways to break your cleanse and what that means. Okay, so we want to cover some of the questions that we get pretty commonly, but questions that maybe you don't see answered or you don't see that information as, it's not as common out there as maybe a lot of the other like frequently asked question sheets and things like that that you've seen. So that's what we're going to be talking with you guys about tonight. It's going to be super quick, but you can absolutely, if you have questions, if you're on this call live, you can throw those in the chat and we'll definitely try to get to those before our time is up. But if you're watching this recording and you have questions, reach out to the person who shared it with you or hop into Lean Body for Life or your product group and ask your questions. Get your questions answered because there's so many amazing ways to cleanse. And really, there's no wrong way. There are a few wrong ways, but those don't happen very often. Like I've heard of people using the shake scoop to do their serving sizes for cleanse or things like that. Those are definitely like wrong ways to cleanse. But for the most part, you guys, there's no wrong way to do it. And so we want to make sure that you understand from people who've been doing this for a long time what works best for us. Okay, and Hannah and I do it very differently. Our lifestyles are a little bit different. We're both mommies of very young kiddos, but Hannah's going to talk to you guys about working out and cleansing, and I'm going to talk to you about some flexible cleansing and how to break your cleanse. So first thing I'm going to dive into, you guys, can I just get a thumbs up? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, awesome. So first thing I want to talk to you guys about is flexible cleansing. I've actually been using the Isogenics products for 11 years. My first cleanse ever was over a decade ago. Let me just tell you guys, we had cleanse, natural accelerator, and the snacks. Not the Ice Delights, not the Whey Thins, the snacks, the Scooby snacks, the dehydrated shake, the little wafers. That's what we had. And you guys, it was so amazingly effective then, just like it is today. But today it's just a lot more fun. So you guys should feel so grateful. But ever since then, I've used Isogenics and I've used cleansing for 11 years. And let me tell you, my life looks very different today than it did 11 years ago. When I started, I was in college, I was single, I had packed on a few college pounds that I was in denial about. My aunt very lovingly put Isogenics in my lap and said, "You should do this cleanse with me," which was her very nice way of saying, "Hey, you look unhappy and fluffy and chubby, and this will help you feel so much better." And she was right, you guys. How many of you, after your first or second deep cleanse, you wake up on that shake day and you put that first shake in your body after a cleanse and you're like, is this legal? Like, I feel like someone turned on a light switch. I feel like someone plugged me into a wall. And that's exactly how I felt. So when I hear people say that now, that tells me that that's a clue, you guys, that this works. But that does not mean that I have cleansed the same way every time for the last decade. And anyone on this call who's cleansed for more than once, I'm telling you right now, there's so many different ways to do this. The first thing I will tell you is it's so important to practice self-awareness. I want you to really think about, like, what are your goals? Okay, if you have a really significant goal with your health, whether that be rebalancing your body, some sort of like your detox goal, weight wellness, maybe a bigger weight loss goal, whatever that looks like, then you want to make sure that you're doing as many deep cleanses as you can, right? But for some people, even if you have a bigger goal, but you're just in a season of life where you're okay not focusing on it 100% and going all out, you can still cleanse. Okay, and I'm going to talk about the differences in all the different ways I've used cleansing over the last decade. Okay, so when I was first reaching my goals, I was so like hardcore. I just wanted to reach my goals as fast as possible. And you guys, reaching your goals quickly is way better than reaching them slowly. But everyone's journeys are their own. Okay, so be very, very honest with yourself about what is your journey. How quickly do you want to reach these goals? For me, I wanted to make sure, I wanted just to see how much I could lean up my body. I wanted to see just how healthy could I be. When I was in high school, before Isogenics, I was an athlete. I was in martial arts for about 14 years. I actually qualified for the Junior Olympics when I was 17, but I did not have Isogenics in my body. After going through college and gaining about 20, 25 pounds and putting Isogenics in my body, and I deep cleanse and I deep cleanse and I deep cleanse, I felt better and more healthy than I did when I was 17 at that level of martial arts. And I tell you that because my nutrition sucked in high school, but I was 17, right? I was invincible. Well, enter Isogenics. And when I was reaching my goals and really just seeing how far I could push my body, those deep cleanses were exactly what I needed. And my body was starting to crave them. Okay. So fast forward over the next, probably 5 or 6 years. And I did more like cleanse here and there, right? I had reached my goals. So for a lot of you, maybe you've reached your goals, maybe you're in lifestyle mode or maintenance mode. When your body needs a cleanse, you can feel it, right? Maybe your clothes start to feel a little bit tighter. Maybe you feel a little bit more tired. I know for me, like my joints start to feel a little achy, like some maybe inflammation in my body. So listen to your body, and that awareness in your body comes from a lot of making good health decisions, like doing some deep cleanses, things like that. So after doing a few deep cleanses, my body knew when I needed another one. Okay, so that's what I would do. So maybe 2 or 3 times a year, right? I'm being just honest with you guys. For about 5 or 6 years, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, I would do a deep cleanse. Otherwise, I was doing like a 1 day here or there, 1 day cleanse here, 1 day cleanse there. But it was very much just listening to my body, what my body needed, okay? When I was pregnant and nursing, and I just want to put a little like disclaimer, insert disclaimer here, Isogenics does not want you to do cleansing while you're pregnant. You need all those calories, all those extra fats and proteins and all those carbs. You're growing another human being, right? You're not eating for 2. You're not doubling everything that you intake, but you do want those extra calories, extra fats and proteins in your body every day. And that's not what deep cleansing is giving you. Okay, but what I chose to do, you listen to your body, you talk to a friend you trust and see what's going to work best for you. What I chose to do for myself was just daily cleansing. I would do a week of cleansing at night and then a week of bedtime belly buster, protein, the Isopro, a week of cleansing, a week of Isopro. And that's what I did while I was pregnant and nursing. That's what worked best for me. Okay, again, flexible. For a lot of people, I hear the question over the summertime. Okay, well, how do I cleanse over the summer? The same way you cleanse any other time of the year. What does your body need? What are you willing to give it? I know a lot of people, just be honest with yourself, a lot of people who get to the summertime and they're like, I still want to feel good, I still want to be healthy, but I don't want to be so rigid about my schedule while I'm reaching my goals. Great. This is a lifestyle system for a reason, right? That's one of the beautiful things about it. This doesn't have to be something that you're like, so strict with every single day of the year. That is no way to live. Okay, ask anyone who's done a bikini competition. I'm looking at you, Amanda. Ask anyone who's done a bikini competition, you guys. Can you imagine? Like, I don't know if you can see Amanda's face, but just watch her face when I ask her this question. Could you imagine living that way every day for a whole year, as if you're in prep mode? That would be miserable, you guys. If you are starting to look at Isogenics in that way, it's time to change up how you're doing your system. It's time to change up how you're using these products. This should fit into the lifestyle that's going to feel good for you, that's going to make you feel good emotionally, mentally, physically, not something that feels like deprivation or a ton of sacrifice. Is it that way in the beginning when you're breaking some bad habits? Of course, but that's good. Okay, so use your judgment and your awareness and maybe talk to a friend if you're just kind of like, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's the best way for me to do this. Too many people put Isogenics down over the summer because they think, oh, I can't have fun and be healthy. That's what Isogenics is. Isogenics is fun and it is healthy. It can be both. I do not leave home ever when I travel, when I go to barbecues, when I go out on the lake. I have some product with me, but whether that be an e-shot, some hydrate, a shake packet, a bar, because I still want to put that stuff in my body while I'm having fun so I can keep feeling good while I'm having fun, okay? I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about something I like to call lazy cleansing. So I don't know, maybe you don't like that phrase. Maybe if you're coaching somebody, you're like, oh my God, don't tell them lazy cleansing. You know what? Get over it. It's fine. I love lazy cleansing because for some people, they've been so diligent and they're reaching these big goals. And then they're like, oh, I'm starting to resent this process. Slow down. Don't stop. Don't ever stop putting good nutrition in your body. Your body needs it. But if you like lazy cleansing, if that term is intriguing to you, guess what? You can take a serving of cleanse every day, anytime you want, anytime. Is it 4 o'clock and you're like, I'm kind of thirsty. I kind of want something that's fruity, maybe, or like a slushy. Maybe I'll do some like cool, like cleanse smoothie with like cleanse and some ionics and some hydrate, some greens, maybe pour an e-shot in there. Our friend Carity makes like this amazing Bubba cup elixir thing with like, she throws all like the liquid and powder ion or isogenic stuff in Bubba cup and shakes it up. And she loves it. However you're getting the cleanse in your body is a win, okay? So if you're not doing strict 2 days all through the summer, I'm giving you permission to not feel bad about that, as long as you feel good about the choices you're making. Okay, over the summer, I feel perfectly fine not doing a bunch of 2-day cleanses, but once in a while I really need one, and then I feel good about choosing to do it. So I want you guys to understand the difference. Cleansing is meant to be flexible. We don't want to enable you to make choices that aren't going to help you reach your goals like you want to. So there's a big difference between saying like, oh, my lifestyle right now doesn't want me to do a 2-day cleanse, when you know you really should. And so what I'm saying is, I don't want you to use flexible cleansing as an excuse to not run hard for your goals. But I'm trusting you guys as adults, as humans, to make that decision for yourself. And if someone who loves you in your life challenges you on that, and they're like, I know you really want to hit this goal by this day, or by this special occasion, or by the end of this season, I know you really want to hit this goal. So do some daily cleansing, do some lazy cleansing, whatever you got to do, but let's do a deep cleanse together next week. Okay, be open to that. But again, flexible. It's so flexible. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, throw it in the chat. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so we'll answer some of those a little bit later, but the one that was asked is, do you cleanse when you travel or on vacation? Yes, yes, heck to the yes, all the time. It's one of the first things I pack. I'm like, how many days am I going to be gone? How many meals am I going to eat? And 2/3 of those meals I bring in shakes. And then I always bring bars. I usually travel with my children, so I bring like triple the bars because, oh my God, all the e-shots, all the hydrate. Isogenics puts so many of these products in travel size like packets and sticks and things like that. We love it. The little cleanse bottles that are super adorable, like the little 2-ounce ones. Are you kidding me? There's no excuse to not feel good all year. All year. And I know so many people travel over the summer and over the holidays. 2 times of the year that so many people think they can just put isogenics down because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Oh, well, it's summer, I'm supposed to eat like crap. Oh, it's the holidays, I'm supposed to eat all the cookies. Eat all the burgers, drink all the beer, eat all the chips, eat all the cookies. Still get your shakes every day. Do some daily, or wake up in the morning cleanse, before you go to night cleanse, whatever. Get this nutrition in your body so that you can still have all that fun and indulge here and there, but still feel good. I mean, that feels like common sense to me, but I feel like so many people just assume that they can't have both. Guess what? You can have both. It's amazing. So something else you can have both of is cleansing and workouts. And so we asked Hannah to come on because Hannah is our, I might make you flex for us, Hannah. Hannah is amazing. Yes, Hannah, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to go ahead and bring you up here on the screen. And you're on the recording now, Hannah, so please go ahead and just show everyone what you got going on there. Flex those guns for us. Yes, okay, you guys, Hannah is, let me tell you a little bit about Hannah real quick. Hannah is a beautiful mommy of 2 young kiddos, very young. We're talking like 5 and 3, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 5 and 3 years old, busy. Anyone busy? Hannah's busy. This girl never makes an excuse fueling her body with isogenics, and she never makes an excuse for getting her workouts in. I am so excited for her to share with you how she incorporates cleansing and a workout, types of workouts, things like that. So if you have questions about that, listen in and go ahead and throw those in the chat. All right, Hannah, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, so gosh, it's I'm coming up on my 2 years with Isogenics, and I will say my routine right now looks way different than what it looked like when I first started. I wasn't lifting, I was only running. I want to say that everything looked like everything that you're told to do, you know, your shakes, do your 48-hour cleanse, have 5 more shake days, do another 2-day cleanse, kind of, you know, by the book. And then as I started to incorporate strength training, I kind of changed some things up. I added the whey protein, just the protein, not the meal replacement, and BCAAs. That was a game changer. And so it also really changed how I cleansed, because I would still cleanse on the days that I worked out when I first started Isogenics, because my workouts weren't real intense. They were like, you know, maybe a 1.5 mile run, nothing crazy, you know, with my kids in the stroller. But yeah, once I started to add in the weightlifting and really like intense workouts, I decided to only cleanse on my rest days. So I'll have like 2 rest days, and those are my 2 cleanse days. Because it's super important when you're working out, when you're lifting weights, that you get that protein in your body and the BCAAs, because what happens is you're breaking down those muscles and your muscle fibers, and you need the whey protein, you need the BCAAs to help build those muscles back up and repair them. So the whey and the BCAAs kind of work together, and sending the, you know, the protein to your muscles to repair it. And so on cleanse days, if I still wanted to be active and work out, it would be like a brisk walk, a light jog, a yoga class, something not so intense, yeah, on my cleanse days. So let's see, sorry, I have some notes here. But yeah, so now, let's see, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So your whey protein, where am I going with that? Sorry, Rachel.
So Hannah, I'm going to ask you a real quick question while you gather your thoughts there. But one of the questions I get a lot of is, if you are going to do any sort of activity and you're cleansing, what are those products that are okay to use? So like, do you do hydrate? Do you take the e-shots? Like if you're going to do any sort of physical activity, what are your go-to products on those cleanse days?
On my cleanse days, yeah, my go-to products. So kind of like what you were saying that Purity does, I just get a really big cup and I fill it with my cleanse, my greens, my hydrate, an e-shot. I kind of do everything. Yeah, if I am going to work out on a cleanse day, I just make sure that I'm sipping on hydrate throughout my workout. That was a big game changer for me, because I would, even with like a yoga class or any sort of, stimulation, I would kind of get lightheaded. I'm like, gosh, what's wrong with me? The hydrate is huge. It just really, really helps me. On my cleanse days. So that's kind of my go-to, is a hydrate. Or then, the mixture of everything.
I love it. All right, so you guys want some of the questions in the chat, and Amanda brings up a good point. I recommend working out later in the day on a cleanse day. Morning workouts can make you hungrier all day. That is something that my husband has found out when working out on cleanse days. I've noticed that as well. One of the things that I know I've heard a lot of people do is that they'll start the day cleansing, and then they'll go into a workout, and then after their workout they'll end with protein. So they break their cleanse with the protein no matter what. And so there's just so many different ways that you can do it, you guys, but I wanted you to understand that if you're worried about, fitting in workouts, if you're worried about being too busy for this, or how do I balance all of that, I wanted you to hear from a busy mom, like busy stay-at-home mom, 2 young kids, husband is such a hard worker, serves his community, and still able to fit in those workouts, still able to make those good, tiny, small decisions here and there to get herself moving forward in her goals. It's really amazing. Thank you, Hannah, so much. And if you think of anything else, Hannah, just jump in, whenever. And so we had a couple questions. I love this one. So are we supposed to include intermittent fasting while cleansing, and how does that work with lazy cleansing? You can absolutely incorporate intermittent fasting. A lot of people will do like the 8-8-8 schedule, where you sleep for 8 hours, you fast for 8 hours, you eat for 8 hours. And the eating window is when people are doing like their cleanse and their snacks and stuff. You can absolutely do it that way, but you don't have to, okay? Isogenics is such a beautiful marriage between nutritional cleansing and intermittent fasting, that, again, it's all a part of flexible cleansing. So however you have found that cleanse works best for you, do that. And if you ever just need to change it up, and you ever just need to, okay, I normally do it this way, but gosh, I just feel like maybe this week I need to do some daily cleansing. It's good to change it up on your body, right? You're still getting all the amazing nutrition. You're still getting all the things your body needs to really function at a high level. But as anyone will tell you, it's good to change it up on your body. All right. It's good to change up and not have yourself so regimented every single day that your body gets used to what you're doing. And so I would say for that one, if you're doing like a strict intermittent fasting schedule, you can still do like lazy cleansing, just fit that into your eating window. So if you're doing, if you're doing daily cleansing during intermittent fasting, that can be what you break your fast with, or it can be what you end your day with before you start your fasting window at the end of the day. However you want to do that. I'm assuming that's what you mean by the intermittent fasting. And then some of the other questions, how should our more seasoned friends cleanse, as in our elderly friends, our older friends? Again, it is 100% a flexible personal journey. I would suggest that they follow the system as it's designed. And anybody, this goes for anybody, because I've had people ask me, they're like, oh, well, I'm this age, or I'm that age, or I have this problem, or I have that problem. No matter what it is, go into cleansing as it's designed so that you can kind of feel it out and figure out what's going to work best for you. But I tell people just to cleanse one step at a time, right? Plan on the 2 days, but if you get to like your 10th cleanse serving on, the halfway through your second day, and your body's telling you that it needs to stop. All right. And that's a good segue into our last topic before we end tonight: how to break your cleanse. Breaking your cleanse. We hear too often that people get so down on themselves because they made it through day 1, they wake up on day 2, and they're just feeling kind of weird, and they're not sure what's going on, or they're just like, oh, lunch came up at work, and now, everyone's going out to lunch. So, oh, I got to break my cleanse or whatever. And people feel so bad about that. You guys, this is a lifestyle. It's just food, okay? You're just fueling your body with nutrition and nutrients. Guess what? It's okay. You can pick up and do a 2-day cleanse the next week, all right? You're still doing good things. Like I said, there's no real wrong way to cleanse. Obviously, yes, there are some like things that maybe people do that they don't know better about, like which scoop to use or whatever. But what I will tell you is, there's no wrong way to cleanse if you're putting it in your body. So if you do a 1.5 day cleanse, that's a win. That's better than a no day cleanse. Okay. If you're doing daily cleansing or lazy cleansing, guess what? That's a win. That's a win. But if you catch yourself feeling guilty or feeling like, oh, I failed, I would take a step back and really ask yourself, do you feel that way because you feel like you actually failed? Like someone's going to be disappointed in you because you didn't have that last serving of cleanse? Or is it because you could have done better and you just feel guilty about it because you could have pushed yourself a little bit further? I would just be very honest with yourself about where that feeling's coming from, because there is no reason you need to get down on yourself about how you're doing your isogenic system and how you're using these products. If you're just authentic with your journey, what does your body need right now? Oh, all my friends are cleansing and I'm not, I'm a big failure. No, good for your friends. But if you're choosing not to cleanse for whatever reason that week, that's fine. Cleanse when you need to cleanse. okay? Don't put so much pressure on it. It's a really simple process, but I know that a lot of people have a lot riding on this, and so it's easy to put a lot of pressure on it. But again, if you're starting to resent it, or you're feeling kind of like, oh, this just feels too hard, that means you're not doing it the right way for you. And whoever introduced you to Isagenix, they can help you. And if they're not sure how to help you, we have amazing support in Lean Body for Life. All right, and then some other questions that we're getting. Will cleansing undo a naughty week of food and alcohol? This is a question we get a lot, especially in the summertime and the holidays. Like I said before, summertime and holidays tend to be when people are like, oh my gosh, all the cookies, all the beer. And I'm like, I'm not a beer girl, but I get it because I'm a cookie girl. What I will tell you is that if you know you have a bunch of barbecues coming up, if you know you have a bunch of parties coming up, the holidays, I hate to say it, but they're kind of right around the corner, right? Before you know it, there's going to be Halloween decorations up in Costco. I'm just saying, it'll happen before you know it, and it'll be irritating to most people like my husband. I think it's great. But before you know it, there will be temptation, right? There'll be opportunities to do things that you're like, oh my gosh, I probably shouldn't do this. I really encourage you, and I love how my friend Amanda says this, don't look at food as good or bad. Like, don't label like, oh, that's bad, I shouldn't do that, I feel so naughty, ooh, I shouldn't do this. That's going to create a really weird emotional relationship between you and food. It's food. It's not, there's no emotion that's needed to put on that food. However, I understand. I also have an emotional relationship with food for a few reasons, but what I would encourage you to think about is, if you know that this is coming up and you're still doing your shakes every day and you're doing your daily cleansing, trust me, you're not going to feel the need to undo anything, because your body is going to be performing and processing at a much higher level than it would if you were putting none of this nutrition in your body. Now, for some people who are still new and still trying to figure out the lifestyle and everything, and they maybe go on vacation and they are gone for a whole week and they didn't bring any of their Isagenix with them, I cannot think of a single person who's done that who comes back and is like, I feel amazing. They're all like, oh my God, help me. I feel bloated. I feel disgusting. What is so incredible about this is that there's no falling off the wagon with Isagenix, you guys. You just start eating the food again because it's there. It's there for you. You just pick it back up and you keep going. And you will be so amazed at how fast your body rebounds, because it's like, oh, this again? Yes. And it will just start absorbing. I'm serious, especially over the summertime. I feel like everyone goes to Mexico for a week. It's like the thing that people do. And they come back, if they didn't take their Isagenix, they're like, kill me now. I feel terrible. I'm like, okay, shake, go get one right now. Shake, cleanse before you go to bed. Just jump back into it. Just keep going. Okay, again, you can't fall off the wagon with Isagenix. Just pick it back up and keep going. I want to make sure that I talk a little bit more about the breaking the cleanse, and then we're going to go ahead and end. But for those of you who are thinking about like workouts and cleansing and all of that, there's a really great article, isagenixhealth.net. They talk about what they call shred days, and like how to incorporate cleansing with that. So really good resources for you there if you or someone you know is curious about how to do workouts while they're doing some cleansing. Breaking your cleanse though, so that's our final topic. It is so crucial that no matter when you break your cleanse, okay, whether you break your cleanse after a full 2 days, or you break your cleanse after 1 day, or after half a day, whatever, you'll notice that I use the same language no matter when you decide to end your cleanse, because I don't want people to feel guilty. I don't want people to feel like they've failed if they don't do the whole 2 days. You break your cleanse when your body is telling you it needs to break it, okay? But trust me, most of you can do a 2-day cleanse even if you don't think you can. Trust me, okay? If you haven't tried one yet, find somebody who will do it with you. Take it step by step and just one serving at a time. Make that decision, okay? I'm going to cleanse again. I feel good. Knowing that you can stop at any time. And then you decide, okay, it's time to cleanse again. Do I cleanse or have a shake? I'm going to cleanse. I'm just going to, one more. For some people that works, okay? If you're an like 100% all or nothing person, just make the decision. 2 days, run for it. Put your head down, focus. No matter when you decide to break your cleanse, you have to break your cleanse with a shake. You guys have to break your cleanse with a shake. It doesn't happen very often, but once in a while I will hear from people who ended their cleanse, they woke up the next morning and they were like, all the bacon, all the eggs, all the toast. And then they're like, oh, I feel like really weird. And I'm like, because your body was so clean. Your body was just high functioning, you know, cellular, all the things were happening inside your body. Okay, see how sciencey I am? I've been doing this 11 years. But just go to isagenixhealth.net, it'll make a lot more sense. There's so many amazing things happening in your body. You want to flood that clean slate with pure, perfect nutrition, because that is what's going to start just jumpstart your body. It's amazing. How many people that first shake after a cleanse day is like sweet nectar of life? It feels so freaking good. Okay, way better than bacon and eggs would feel after a cleanse, I promise you. And there's a reason for that. Listen to your body, right? Sometimes I eat foods and I'm like, why do I have a headache? I'm like, oh, because that food probably had a lot of sugar in it, or that food probably had a lot of processed crap in it. Okay, there's a reason for that. Listen to your body. Your body's trying to tell you what it's doing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end there. I wanna make sure if there's any other questions. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for joining us. I know we did not cover everything about cleansing, not by a long shot, but we wanted to keep this short so that if you guys needed a quick reference on just some kind of those nuances of cleansing and how to make it flexible and more lifestyle oriented, this is the resource for you. Share this tool with people so that they can just hear from somebody else other than you, because right, sometimes they need to hear it from someone they don't know, or just another person. But share this resource with them so that they can feel confident and know that whatever it is that they've decided to do for their lifestyle, for their health journey, that's the right answer. Okay, it's okay. So flexible cleansing, cleansing and working out, and breaking your cleanse. We hope that you really enjoyed this topic. And if you have any other questions, go ahead and you can put it in Lean Body for Life or reach out to the person who shared this with you. Thanks, guys.